Hello mates, and welcome to our second edition of the Zone Report. Seeing that our first edition was a humongous success last week, we decided to continue with this format for better or worse, you decide. And a reminder of what the Zone Report is all about, for those of you less familiar. It's where we'll discuss the exciting things happening across the gaming and PC hardware industry lately, in a short and to the point format. So let's kick off the show as we have some very exciting news this week, particularly from NVIDIA, which is somewhat of a surprise considering that only last week we were discussing the launch of 4060 Ti, but more on this later. First up, we have some bad news, unfortunately. We regret to inform you that the long-awaiting RTS game Homeworld has been delayed until February 2024, thus missing the original deadline that was set for the first half of 2023. Well, guess what? The first half of the year is over, and as a result, they postponed it by over a year, unfortunately. This begs the question, why they didn't announce this delay ahead of time, and exactly at the half of the year, when the game should have launched? Well, I guess the marketing department is doing a great job, and there's nothing we can do about it. Sorry mates, but we'll have to wait a bit longer. Fortunately, however, this delay will allow the developers to polish and perfect the game more, according to what they wrote on Twitter at least. Basically, what they tell us is that the game at the moment is not in a very good state for release, and the decision of Blackbird Interactive is somewhat of a brave one to delay the game for such a long time. But at least they had the balls to delay it, and not throw it under the bus undercooked. Let's just hope all goes well, and we sincerely wish them the best of luck during the next months of development, personally being a big fan of the series. In other news, Daedalic Entertainment has sincerely apologized for its disastrous release of the latest games in the Lord of the Rings. Oh, sorry about that, I'm a little hungry, you know. Lord of the Rings universe, Gollum. In a recent post on Twitter, they acknowledged that the game is broken as hell and players are experiencing multiple technical problems. Technical issues that might be resolved along the way, and that they have been actively listening to players' complaints and analyzing constructive criticism and suggestions. Well, you see, maybe they should have played their game first before releasing it, so they wouldn't have to analyze and process so-called constructive criticism, as they call it. Honestly, the game is a ruin and a wreck of what was presented and promised, receiving tons of extremely negative reviews since its release. Most of the complaints are about the billions of bugs that the game has, which maybe someday will get fixed. But please note that nothing is certain at this moment. After all, they just acknowledge that the game is a ruin, and will try to make it better. Thanks for telling us after releasing it, but not really. Play your fucking game before releasing it, and not throw it under the bus. That will make the world so much beautiful. In addition, the game has been poorly received in general, not only due to technical problems, but especially the story that leaves a lot to be desired. So Daedalic might have some work to do here to clean up the mess it made, which might be a bit harder to do than sounds. On a personal note, it seems like the failed releases just keep coming like they're on a conveyor belt this year. I can't remember any major game releases that hasn't been negatively received so far, honestly. Let's break this trend pretty please. But in the end, we still hold our hope. It's all we have after all. Hope and broken games. With that, let's move on because we have some important World of Tanks updates for you. Battle Pass Season 11 has started and will run throughout the summer, until September 6th to be exact. This might be the perfect solution in case you didn't have anything better to do this summer and you don't want to leave the house for a walk on the beach, throughout the forest, or do something else more useful with your life. The structure of the season is a classic one, to some extent. You got 3 chapters to complete, collect points and tokens, and spend them on whatever you like. But this time we have an additional chapter that has a special reward, a tier 8 premium tank. Note too that this additional chapter will be time limited, somewhat like a marathon. So if you want to complete it in a timely manner, it will be necessary to put in some extra hours of work. Many more hours of work, you can be sure of that. They didn't give us any hints on the premium tank, but we'll find out along the way I suppose and keep you posted. Now, our last piece of news in this report comes from NVIDIA, from none other than Jensen Huang, the Black Leather Jacket CEO. In a recent presentation at COMPUTEX 2023, Huang unveiled multiple out-of-the-oven, freshly baked products and made some strange claims, to say the least. Some of them that could cast a shadow over the future of gaming as we know it. Because it seems that in the very near future the company will focus more and more on AI technology and that piece of the pie in the industry where the real money falls from the sky. Servers, to be precise. As many and as big as possible. And that could mean fewer resources allocated to consumer products like GPUs, you know, and other nice things like that. In any case, it's not an exaggeration to say that the whole presentation, which lasted no less than 2 hours, was a strange show and it felt truly incomprehensible at times. With Huang trying his best to build up the hype as much as possible and get the audience on their feet dancing with him, transforming the presentation in a karaoke show, an AI one on top of that. You honestly need to watch it to believe it. So I leave you with just a few key moments from the presentation, so you can make a better idea for yourselves.
Grace Hopper, like that. I am the sound effect. The ability to get 10 times more performance every 5 years has ended. Kind of hard for me to tell from here. Are you guys with me? Hi, am I alone?
I am here at COMPUTEX. I will make you like me best. Yeah, sing it with me. I really
This is the part.
like NVIDIA.
All right. Very good, very good. Good job. The more you buy, the more you save. That's right. The more you buy, the more you save. The more you buy, the more you save. That's NVIDIA. You don't have to understand the strategy. You don't have to understand the technology. The more you buy, the more you save. That's the only thing you have to understand.
Yeah, you heard that right. The more you buy, the more you save. So the next time you go to KFC to get a menu or a bucket, buy more. Much more. Even if it doesn't make any sense. Just do it and remember, the more you buy, the more you save. With that, we are pretty much done for the day and we've run out of hot topics for this week. See you soon on our next Zone Report. Have a fabulous weekend and take care. But remember, the more you buy, the more you save. This is not my recommendation for you as usual. Signing out.